which you came, upon this rock, Jesus said, I'm going to build my church, and the very, very gates of hell shall not prevail against you. Satan, the Lord rebuke you. Come on, everybody, just say, Satan, the Lord rebuke you. Satan, the Lord rebuke you. Every attack that you came, hallelujah. Every attack that you sent my way, hallelujah. I send it back to the pits of hell from whence it came, hallelujah. You can speak to the mountain, y'all. Speak to that mountain in your situation and tell it to get out of your way. Yeah, Lord. I'm talking about love lifting me. And talking about love, y'all, let's turn right quick to 1 Corinthians, amen. See, you trying to make me preach. Hold up a second. Yeah, Lord. Church, I feel good in my spirit. The reason I feel good is because the devil has been fighting me, amen, not just this week and not just last week, but that's how I knew that God was going to destroy some yokes in the revival, amen. You ever notice that when you got something to do for the Lord, seem like all hell break loose? I'm talking about when you got an assignment or an appointment or you know what I'm saying? The devil trying to make you lose your focus. And he wants you to call people and say, it's canceled. We're not having it. I've been going through so much, honey. It's canceled. The revival is canceled. It's canceled. That's what the devil want to hear. But you know what? I said it's on. Look at somebody, tell them, say it's on. Like they say it's on like Donkey Kong. I believe somebody got us on Facebook. We want y'all to know that it's on. Yeah. The Bible says, hallelujah, the table is spread and the feast of the Lord is going on over here. Yeah. But you know what, church? How many of y'all ever said, Lord, we say this just to be talking. If you find anything within me, I want you to take it out. Well, we done got our hairstyles together. We're not wearing them red, pink, and blue and all that. We done got all these earrings out our, ears, and not ears, but I'm talking about our tongues and our nose and our eyes. And you know what I'm saying? We done stopped the excessive stuff. We done learned how to dress in modest apparel, and we wearing our dresses and stuff, sweeping the floor and all that stuff, and we looking holy. But when you say, Lord, if you find anything within me, I want you to take it out. And when you asked him that, he's going to show you some things about you. He's going to show you some things within you. You might need a little more patience. You might need a little bit more love, because I found out that church folks is some of the meanest folks. I found out that church folks is some of the most unloving folks. I found out, y'all, that church folks, hallelujah, are some of the most gossipers, hallelujah. They're some of the most busybodies. They're some of the most backstabbing people. Hey, Lord, but the Lord is my shepherd, and I shall not want. Yeah. He making me to lie down, yes he does, in green pastures. Yeah. And he'll prepare a table right in the presence of your enemies. Yes, he will. The more they talk about you, the more it makes the Lord bless you. Somebody ought to say yes. Yeah, Lord. Talking about the love of God. I just praise God, amen. We're going to read 1 Corinthians, and we're going to read just a little bit in the 13th chapter. Amen. Talking about the love before I lose myself, amen. Because, church, I get excited when it comes to the word of God. If we would just get excited and be expecting something, we would receive something. We would receive something spiritually, and we would receive something natural in the natural realm. Because there is a storm out. In case you didn't know it, there's a storm out on the ocean. And you might not know it, honey, but I want to let you know that it's moving your way. And it's moving my way. And if your soul is not anchored in happened to Pastor so-and-so? Well, the storm came, and it didn't have nothing way down on the inside. And when it beat on that house, and when it beat on that house, and when it beat on that house, they fell down. Well, you know what? That was a physical storm for real. I never will forget it. I got off from work. And Silas, she worked in North Dallas, and I worked in North Dallas. And the storm was so bad, y'all. Have you ever seen a storm where you can't even see? The rain was just beating on the windshield. And you know, she and I was talking on our cell phones. And I said, girl, I said, where you at? She said, girl, I'm on Lancaster. And she was headed south because she lived in DeSoto. And I was headed south because at that time I lived in Lancaster, Texas. So if y'all know where Lancaster is, and if you know where, amen, DeSoto, if you know where Lancaster Road, and if you know where the one she was traveling on was, which road was you on? Was you on the freeway? I think she was on the freeway. But she was going south. And I was on Lancaster, so we were parallel. Side by side. And so she was trying to get home. Y'all catch this spiritually. She was trying to get home, H-O-M-E. And I was trying to get home, H-O-M-E. And we could not see, but we was talking on the telephone. And you know, we just began to pray on the cell phone. We began to pray and intercede for one another. And I don't know about her, but I'm sure she was, because the storm was so bad. Amen. It was so bad that you didn't want to pull over. You were scared to pull over, and you were scared to keep on going. Amen. But something on the inside, hallelujah, it kept telling us to go ahead. Hallelujah. How many of y'all know that God will? He ride the storms. And we began to pray and say, Lord, I know you say you ride the storm. And I know you see your servants, and we're trying to get home, I'm asking you, Lord, to let us arrive to our different destination. Somebody can't focus on nothing but the natural house. But I'm talking about our heavenly home. And we arrived, yes we did. And we arrived on time, And ever since that day, y'all, we may not talk to each other every day, but every once in a while, we'll connect right back up. I said, this is a God thing. And before I read this word, church, let me tell y'all something. See, I'm not afraid to declare the word of the Lord. I'm glad that all of y'all are here, because I want you to witness it. I want you to say, God said it, and she spoke it. Now, let me tell y'all something. I'm not just coming to church just to be coming to church. Because when you get older, you don't have that much energy to burn. So you have to make good use of your energy. But now, when she talked about our cousin, many of y'all know her, Kamisha Monk. And I talked to her on the other day. And I began to encourage her and remind her. Y'all know that she's out there at the rehabilitation center, paralyzed. But God put her on my mind. Just the other day. You know, sometimes we'll forget the promises that God had made us. Just because it didn't happen this week, last week, you feel like it ain't going to happen. But I called her and I reminded her. I said, Kamisha, I'm standing on the word of God. I said, because God showed me a vision. And he showed me you walking. And I said, I'm standing on the promises of God. And I declare it among all of these people. You know, I thought about how it had been prophesied that a Savior was going to come. And if y'all know who Stephen was in the Bible, Stephen was one that was full of the Holy Ghost. And his eyes saw it when Jesus was born, and he said, the Savior has been born, and now he was ready to go on home. And I began to tell Kamisha Monk, I said, you know what, baby? When you walk, I I said, I'm going to see it. I said, you know how I'm going to see it? And why I'm going to see it? Because I'm going to be right there.
That's it.
See, I know we got a lot of unbelievers, church. It don't do you no good to say you're saved and sanctified and filled with the Holy Ghost if you don't believe in miracles. I'm talking some real talk here today. God is a mind regulator. God is a nerve connector. Amen. And she is paralyzed, they say, from her neck to her feet. Amen. She's laying there now, but you know what the Spirit of the Lord began to tell me to tell her? Somebody just gave me a testimony, Pastor Brand, just the other day, of how they had a friend that was paralyzed. Said he was paralyzed over 3 years. And said, you know what? He was getting disability and in a wheelchair and everything. And he said something spoke to him and just said, try. Try to walk. I hear the Holy Ghost telling you to try. If you make one step, he'll make two. And he tried to walk, and he walked. And if y'all think I'm lying, as a matter of fact, I'm going to try to get him here tomorrow night. I'm going to ask him to please come and tell his testimony because I did not know that. But the vision that God gave me, I saw Kamisha Rochelle Monk. She was having physical therapy. If any of you all have ever had physical therapy, you know those long bars, and they have that gate bed around you, and the therapist be holding you. And you know, I believe Sister Nichols can testify about that. Amen. And she was holding on to them balls. And she was just walking like this. See, that's the reason why I know it wasn't when she got to heaven. It was down here on earth. She was holding on to them parallel bars, and she was just walking. And I was standing at the end of them, and I was looking at it, and I started smiling. I said, girl, I said, you better hold on or you fall. Because she was trying to, you know, do a little twist, you know. And I said, girl, you better hold on. I said, before you mess around here and fall. And I had to remind her, church, I'm telling you, how many of y'all know that God have people that he show visions to? God have prophets. Amen. Some of you all, God probably have showed you things, and we don't want to get so big-headed when it happens that, I told you. I didn't told you nothing. God just used you to speak. Give the Lord a hand clap. So y'all can wait on it. It may not mean nothing to you. Amen. But I'm telling it so I can declare that God is still on the throne. And the day that he do that miracle, amen, y'all ain't going to be able to hold me. Amen. I'm telling you, y'all can just go to the house. But in 1 Corinthians 13:3, let's read a little bit and we're going home. In 1 Corinthians 13:3, when you said, Lord, if you find anything within me, I want you to take it out. Amen. I've already preached, but I want this to soak in. I'm talking about the love of God. 13:3, it says, and though I bestow all my goods to feed the poor, and though I give my body, somebody say my body, to be burned, and have not charity, it profited me the world. It profited me nothing. Then it says, charity suffereth long and is kind. Charity envieth not. Charity vaunteth not itself. Is not puffed up. Amen. In order to show charity, church, we've got to have love. Yes. Now, you know, this is something, church. Can y'all think about being burned up? As though we give our body to be burned. My God. And if we don't have love, we don't have anything. Amen. Everything else that we're doing is in vain. Amen. And guess what? He's not talking about just loving those that love you. Amen. He's talking about loving those that don't love you. He's talking about loving those that hate you. Even those that despise you. Even those that reject you. Even those that make you want to pass by and say, you know what, you can kiss. You know, yeah, oh yeah. Oh, y'all know y'all want to get ugly with some people. You know you be saying, if I didn't have the Holy Ghost, baby, you better ask somebody about me. And the flesh be already get warming up. when you start bouncing and doing all this, you get ready. You better ask somebody about me. About me. Where is the love? Who was that said, where is the love? Where is the love? I'm talking about us tongue talkers. This is why I know you better be careful when you ask God. God, give me my love. God, give me my love. Give me my love. Because when you ask him for more love, you ask him for more test. And the devil say, oh, okay, she want more love. Okay, here I come. With your nappy head self. With your, you know, people can get in your face. And then guess what? When they make you mad, the first thing they say is, I thought you supposed to be saved. She ain't saved. He ain't saved. See, it be a test.
Yes, it do.
Yes.
Don't test me.
You know, with your, I done had them call me names with your fat head, with your so-and-so, with your broke self, with your this and that. That's why your kids so-and-so. And you know what we used to say in the world, you talking about my mama and you talking about my kids. You know what I'm saying? Where is the love? I'm talking about that agape love. And whether you know it or not, God will put these people right in your path because he's making you. He said they need a little more love. I got to drop the love ingredients in there. In case you might need a little more joy. You might need a little more peace. You know what I'm saying? But whatever you ask God for, I ask God for patience. And I quit asking him for it. Because every time I go somewhere, amen, the line can be moving real good, but time I get in the line, how come the register got the break? Yeah! They were smiling at everybody until I walked up and said, how you doing? They said, they checked their head. I said, wait a minute, I'll be right back. Why you got to leave when I come up here? The devil heard you when you said, Lord, give me more patience. Give me more love. Don't ask for it if you don't want to be made. If you don't want to be made, you better not ask for it. And the enemy will rise up right in your household. I see what David meant when he said, amen. It was not them that I did not know. It was those that we took sweet counsel together with. It was those that I rolled up out of the bed with and said, good morning, honey. And then they'll turn their back. You said, what did I do? But I'm saved and sanctified. And we filled with the Holy Ghost. From the top of our head to the sole of our feet. Saved and sanctified. We need some more. I want more of you, Lord. I want more of you. You know, I'm preaching right now about love. Did y'all hear on the news a while? It's been a couple of years ago. They said that somebody's bedroom was in their bed, in the bedroom. And the ground opened up and swallowed them in the ground. Did you hear about that? The whole bed and all. The dresser and everything went down. And ever since I heard about that, I lie not. And ever since I heard about that, I'm going to tell y'all something here. I don't care if you saved, sanctified, filled with the Holy Ghost. You can be two saved, husband and wife. The devil's still going to try to come in. And you know what? But ever since I heard about that dresser and them peoples in the bed and the ground opened up and swallowed them up, I want to let y'all know that Apostle Simmons and I, sometimes we get a little upset. Yes. We don't fist fight, but we get a little upset. And you know the Holy Ghost has said, be quiet. But how many of y'all always be quiet when you say be quiet?
Tell the truth.
Oh, we're going to talk real talk tonight. We done shouted and danced. We done gave God the praise. We done been in the supernatural. We done went to heaven. Now we back down here on earth. Yes, Lord. I'm talking real talk. It's in the book. And you better stop and take a look, because he said, don't you give your body to be burned. And if you don't have love, you can sing like a mockingbird. You can preach like I don't know what. I believe I can fly. You know, when we in church, we can just go to heaven. But when we walk out them doors, hallelujah, where's the real Christian at? But ever since I heard about that bed falling down into the ground, sometimes I ain't gonna lie, the Bible said be angry, but do not sin. I've been so mad at my husband, and I would say this if he was here right now, that I could just roll over and literally catch his neck till he popped like a grape. Yeah, Lord. With the anointing and all. And then had a nerve and said, Lord, give me the strength of Samson. Yeah, Lord. Don't we do it? Don't we do it? Girl, I'll break your neck. Keep on talking. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. And ever since I heard about that bed caving in, I turn over on the side and I let the tears roll down. I be saying, Lord, I'm like Paul, in my flesh dwelling no good thing. I say, every time I desire to do good, an evil thought is always there. And I'll find myself rolling over. And I say, good night, honey. Baby, did you hear me? Hey, Lord. Heaven is my goal, each and every day. I've got to keep on moving on in the right way. And if I stumble while I'm on my way, Lord, don't get angry. Just help me to stand. And you know, sometimes people can be so stubborn, and they won't say nothing. You the flesh want to say, I know I should have said nothing to them. But if you're trying to make heaven your home, somebody is going to have to take the low side. I'm talking about in the church. You know, church, it's in the Bible where it talks about, it says, wives, come subject to your own husband. I'm talking about the love of God. The love of God will restrain you. It'll make you do right when you want to do wrong. It'll make you say yes when you want to say no. It'll make you want it. Hallelujah. Yeah, Lord. See, I know I've been changed. I know I've been changed. Yeah. Hallelujah. When you feel like running to the divorce court, the Holy Ghost, yeah, that's when you know you showed up, got it. Because didn't Pastor Stevenson used to tell us, she said God will save them or he'll move them. And that stands for he or she. Keep on praying. Keep on preaching. Keep on teaching. Keep on holding on. That's when you know you got some roots. I'm preaching for real. Somebody said for real. For God I live, and for God I will die. I'm going to shame the devil. See, when you shame the devil, amen, the devil won't try that no more. Yeah, Lord. But you know when you want to do wrong. And that can be the wife or the husband. It can be your next door neighbor. It can be your children. Just because you brought them into this world don't give you the right to cuss them out.
That's right. That's right.
Ouch.
That's right. That
don't mean you lay the Holy Ghost down.
That's right.
And then say, you know, well, them mine, see, I can do that. No, you can't do that. Not with the Holy Ghost. The Bible says, let no evil, corrupt communication come out of your mouth. You see, we can't have this mouth, and on one side, I'm testifying about the goodness of the Lord, and on the other side, you keep on, you mess with me. I'll show you who I am. Yeah, Lord. But the word of the Lord said, I'm no longer my own. I've been bought with a price. I belong to Jesus Christ. ain't gonna call their name because I know you all might know them. But we was talking one day. I'm talking about love. And I said, now let me ask you something, Pastor so-and-so. You telling me that if your enemy came and knocked on your door and asked you for a piece of bread, you wouldn't give it to him? I almost said whether it was a male or female, but I ain't gonna say that because people be trying to figure out who we talking about it now. But they said, somebody said they said. They said, sister, no. Jesus himself would have to come down here. I wouldn't give a polycracker or a crumb. I said, well, you know what, male or female? I said, you know what, before you can make heaven your home, though, you're going to have to give your enemy a crumb. You know what? Because God has given me so much love, church. I'm not saying that I have arrived, okay? I know that the angels in heaven hear me, and I know that God hear me. I'm not saying that, you know what I'm saying? I'm praying that if somebody hit me, I can just walk off. How many of y'all know, oh yeah. He said, turn the other cheek. We don't have to be perfect. See, I'm talking to that flesh now. Yeah, Lord. Yeah, Lord. But see, we saying, baby, not me. But Jesus, hallelujah. They stretched him wide, yeah. They hung him up on the cross, yeah. They stuck him in his side, yeah. They pierced him, yes they did, till the blood came streaming down. And he did it for you and me. He didn't say, because if he had came down off that cross, we all would be lost. Oh, this don't sound good right here. This ain't one of them Shouting John message. When I think about Jesus, what he done for me. Hey, when I think about Jesus, how he set me free, I can dance. All right. Hey, come on. Yes. That's what we want, right? Simon said, Lord, give me more love. I need more love. You probably gonna have a test tonight. I know that some of y'all didn't open your mouth when I said that. I'm like, I don't want no love. Don't give me no more love. I don't want to go through nothing. But if I tell you, he said, if we give our body to be burned, church, that means that everything else we're doing is in vain, right? You're going to be tried in the fire. And they said when you're tried in the fire, you'll come out as pure gold, right? But as much stuff that I've been through, I feel like I've already been tried in the fire. Now I'm being crushed. Somebody said crushed. You know, in order to make a diamond, they tell me you got to crush it. And when you crush it, I mean, somebody say I've been broken into pieces. But